Hi guys, it is Jason from Liberty Bunker. It's the 18th of July, it's 12:30 p.m. in the UK. I hope you're finding this video well. So the fourth dimensional chess is hotting up. How is Boris Johnson going to navigate this crazy game of fourth dimensional chess and deliver what will almost certainly have to be a no-deal Brexit on or before the 31st of October? Let's look at some of the problems that are facing him. Sorry, wrong in there. This one came out in the Telegraph today. Tory leadership latest. Cabinet ministers consider resigning to stop Parliament being suspended by new PM. Let's take a close look at this one from today's Telegraph. MPs are considering resigning to stop Parliament being suspended as Boris Johnson refuses to rule out shutting down government in order to secure no-deal Brexit by October 31st. Rumours began circulating late last night that some ministers are considering resigning in order to back efforts to prevent no deal if a free vote on the issue is not offered by Theresa May. David Gauke, the Justice Secretary, hinted that he might rebel against the government as he lambasted an autumn suspension of Parliament as outrageous. Now, this is interesting. I mean, there'll almost certainly be a cabinet reshuffle that Boris Johnson puts in place, but Boris Johnson's even said himself he wants some Remainers in his cabinet. This is likely just to appease the wider Tory party. Tory MPs are split between those that are actually trying to push forward with this Brexit, which now needs to happen. It's going to have to be a no deal before 31st of October. As I said, time and time again, it's not going to happen. In my opinion, we're not going to leave before the 31st of October. That's my opinion. Maybe I could be wrong. But there's just too many hurdles in the way. So there'll be a cabinet reshuffle, but it's likely Boris Johnson, he's already stated this, he wants some Remainers in his cabinet. Now, he's come out on record saying he wants to shrink the size of cabinet, probably lose about 10 posts. But in my opinion, that's he's putting so much on his plate now before October. I can't see him reducing the size of these governmental departments, reducing the number of cabinet positions before October 31st. That's something he might want to do further down the road. He's got another 3-4 years to sort those kind of issues out. He's going to have to put together a cabinet. Now, he's saying he wants a cabinet with Remainers in it. Now, the problem is that cabinet could just fall apart before October 31st if you put Remainers in it, which he says he's going to do. The other option is just to pack the cabinet out with hardline Brexiteers. That's going to drive a big division through the Tory party. Nearly every politician in UK politics is a career politician. This is a long-term career for them. And if they just see that the cabinet positions are being packed out with hardline Brexiteers, they see that as quote-unquote unfair to those people that don't necessarily have a Brexit view in mind. So from the career politician point of view, you're going to have a lot of Tory MPs rebelling against that. But what happens if just there's no confidence? Boris Johnson's cabinet ends up with a no confidence motions. This is from The Statesman a few days ago. This one came out on the 15th of July. Would MPs really back a no confidence motion to stop no deal? Ultimately, the number of potential confidence rebels on both sides of the Commons is tiny. Timing more than anything will be crucial. So could the government be brought down even before the end of October? Let's take a closer look at what the Statesman have to say on this. Back in January, Theresa May comfortably saw off a no-confidence vote tabled by Jeremy Corbyn by 327 to 308, a majority of 19, including two tellers for each side. However, the parliamentary arithmetic is now far tighter. 4 Conservative MPs, Anna Soubry, Sarah Wollaston, Heidi Allen and Nick Bowles have resigned the whip. A 5th, Chris Davies, looks likely to lose his seat to the Liberal Democrats in Brecon and Radnor by-election, which is happening soon. Assuming the Lib Dems take Brecon, the new Prime Minister will nominally be able to call on 321 MPs for confidence matters. That's 311 Conservatives plus the 10 DUP. While the combined weight of all the opposition MPs would stand at 318. That means a successful no-confidence vote would require just 2 Tory MPs to actively vote for it, or 4 to abstain. If all opposition MPs remain united, this raises 2 questions. Are enough Conservative MPs prepared to bring down their own government to prevent no deal? And could any opposition MPs counteract them by going the other way? So this is the fourth, I wouldn't even say this is fourth dimensional chess. This is the realms of 5-dimensional chess now. It's just crazy. I can't see anybody out there that can seriously think Boris Johnson can deliver this Brexit on and before the 31st of October. I'll be surprised even if this government even lasts the 31st of October. I do expect a general election at some point. I mean, initially I thought the general election would probably come in 2020, but if we see just a no confidence motion passed against the government, it's going to come a lot sooner than that. I mean, the only other options he's really got is just to force the EU to, eject the UK. The EU as well have to agree to, the withdrawal agreement being extended. They could just force us out, which at this point, this is one of the few options Boris Johnson has left. I think democratically, proroguing Parliament, there's just too many MPs standing in the way to vote for any sort of bill. I mean, what bill are you even going to vote for? It's only really Theresa May's deal left at this point. The EU have actively said they're not going to renegotiate on anything. So maybe at this point we're just required for the EU to eject us. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one. How is Boris Johnson going to navigate this? I mean, he's got enough MPs. Yeah, he can pack the cabinet out with Brexiteers, but is that really going to help him long term? That is just probably going to increase the chances of a no confidence vote in government. I don't know. This is fourth dimensional chess. It's very interesting time just from a UK politics point of view. It's going to be very interesting over the next, 106 days have we got? 107 days, something like that, until this Brexit deadline. This is going to be probably one of the more interesting times in UK politics. I personally can't see it panning out well. I suppose the last thing Boris Johnson can do is just a nuclear option, and that is just to threaten to destroy the Tory party itself. Maybe split the Tory party. I talked about this in a video, I think about a year ago now. It's one of my earlier videos. How the Tory party may split in two. You've got those that support Brexit, those that support traditional conservative ideas. Then you have the rest, i.e. the blue Labour types. They're essentially just, Labour light. What was New Labour 10 years ago, 15 years ago, is essentially where most of the Tory party are now. So he could threaten to split the Tory party into two. Maybe that's a way of going. There really is the nuclear option. But he can't back down. If it comes to that, and it's like either we push through this, no deal together as a single Conservative party, or 6 months down the road, I'm just going to rip this thing in two. I'm going to take the hardline Brexiteers with me. Maybe in the future look to run a coalition government with the Brexit party. That really is the nuclear option, and it's only going to really work if people genuinely believe he is prepared to rip the Tory party in two. It's like war. It's like nuclear war. The idea of nuclear war is, you don't bomb the enemy, you don't nuke the enemy because they end up nuking you. But if your enemy is insane, if the person you're dealing with is actually insane and prepared to use their nuclear weapons, then people tend to back down and maybe appease them. So maybe that's Boris Johnson's ultimate deal. Just go down the insanity route, threaten to split the Tory party in two, and hopefully it doesn't come to that. I don't really care either way. I don't really like the Tories, but if you're a Tory party supporter, hopefully it doesn't come to that. Maybe look in the future that if he can get maybe a quarter or a third of Tory MPs to come with him, and then in the future, 6 months down the road, look at doing a coalition government Brexit party. Who really knows? But it's fourth dimensional chess now. I can't really see any normal way of Boris Johnson navigating this. In my opinion, we're just going to get an extension, and the European Union will put pressure on the UK just to remain or pass Theresa May's deal. There's not really many options left than that unless he goes down the insano route. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Is Boris Johnson prepared to go down the road of insanity? I mean, he's a lifelong Tory supporter. He's a lifelong career Tory, so I can't really imagine him wanting to split the Tory party. But it's an option. It's an option he's got. He hasn't really got many options at this point, bar extending Article 50 and probably likely triggering a general election in a few months' time. Then maybe a second referendum after that. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one. Definitely interesting times for UK politics. I will sit back and enjoy the next 108-ish days with popcorn, because it's going to be amazing to see how it plays out. In my opinion, won't happen on the 31st of October, which will be a bit of a sort of disappointment, really, because we've all been expecting it, but I can't really see it happening. Jason from Liberty Bunker sign off, and I'll see you in the next video.